Heads up. If you have kids around,
parental advisory is in effect.
This is the Bonus Bone Podcast with Lamont and Tonelli.
It's like water torture.
Baby Huey.
Shasta.
And Joe Hawk.
Welcome back to the Bonus Bone Podcast. Shasta and gang, Lamont, Tonelli, Baby Huey, and Joe Hawk.
Hey.
A little disclaimer on the front end of this podcast. Lamont and I are talking through math, which is interesting. I've never done this on a mic.
Well, because someone contacted me just before we were going on.
Right.
And listen, who's the most friggin' careful guy you know?
You, definitely.
I use hand sanitizer 40 times a day. I always have the mask on.
Yeah.
I did a little charity deal, and I dropped some stuff off, and that person tested positive for COVID and called me 2 minutes before we were doing this.
Is that what you get for doing something good?
That's, you know what? I do good, and look what happens.
It bites you in the ass.
Yeah, and I found out the same, that somebody we know has COVID. So I'm just being extra cautious.
Right.
Just,
Exactly.
I have a vacation to go on, so
Yes.
I have vacation going. I
might want to throw a mask on
Well,
just in
have
case.
a mask on,
Well,
Joe.
someone should have told me.
Well, we didn't know until a minute ago.
I know.
So anyhow, we're here today to talk about a fun question that Lamont brought up briefly last week. And it really got me thinking. I thought we could explore this quite a bit more. What band would you want to go on tour with? Doesn't have to be your favorite band necessarily.
Right. It would be a band that would be a hell of a lot of fun to go on tour with, or maybe some other reason you'd like to tour with them.
Right, exactly. So since you brought this up, I think you put it on Facebook.
Yeah.
What would be your answer?
Well, there are two of them. First off, I would love to tour with the Rolling Stones just because they're iconic.
Yeah.
And they stay at the best hotels ever.
That is true.
I mean, when you're going with the Stones, you're not staying at Motel 6.
That's funny.
Right?
Yeah, Motel 6. Can you imagine? I hate to bite off your answer.
Yeah.
But I would also be the Stones, but for different reasons. I was reading an article last week that they have a yoga room, which I love. And they also have a recovery room, which I don't know what that means.
It's a lifestyle choice going with the Stones,
It's a lifestyle
right?
choice. It's like, is that like they get IVs for hydration in the recovery room? What does that mean?
I don't know.
But it's bougie as all hell.
What's that?
The recovery room.
Yeah.
I mean, they're probably getting massages.
But I will say this. If I were to pick an era that I would tour with the Stones, it would probably be in the early 70s when it was rumored that Keith Richards snorted up his father's ashes.
Oh, right.
Okay, that's the Stones I want to see.
Backstage has changed over the years.
I was just going to say, your answer might be different now than what it was. Like in my 20s, I followed Aerosmith for 3 states and I don't know, like 8 shows or something like that. But I was in college and I had more energy and I was ready to party and all that stuff.
And you weren't part of the touring crew.
Yeah, I wasn't staying. I was staying at the Motel 6.
Right, exactly.
That was very different.
Yeah.
But these days, I really like the idea of the yoga, the recovery. Also, if you've been watching on social media, everywhere they've gone, Mick Jagger has been like, where's Waldo? He's like out and about, checking out Spain.
So you can hang with Mick Jagger and hitting all the night spots.
He's going sightseeing everywhere he goes.
Yeah.
VIP everywhere.
And exactly. Can you imagine? Like, you probably get police escorts everywhere you go, right?
Right.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
And he's out there in the midst of people. What makes me laugh about that is the pictures. The people beside him are paying no attention.
They have no idea. They don't expect.
They don't
got a
see
hat
Mick
on.
Jagger.
Right. They don't expect to see Mick Jagger at the neighborhood bar having a beer all by himself.
By himself. Just standing there. That's wild.
Now, I will say this. If I'm going to pick any band, though, and you guys know I love AC/DC.
I thought that'd be
Just
your
the
answer.
debauchery with AC/DC in the Bon Scott years.
Yeah.
I would go that one. However, all-time band that I would love to tour with or would have loved to tour with is Led Zeppelin with some of the crazy stuff that was going on.
The Riot Hyatt house when they were throwing TVs out of the Hyatt in L.A., stuff like that.
Even better, when they were fishing from their room in Seattle and pulling mud sharks out.
Right.
And then it involved groupies.
Yeah, we'll leave it there.
Exactly. Someone didn't get crabs, I'll tell you that.
Could you have kept up? Would that have been a spectator sport?
I would have been very, very young at that point.
I was going to say.
Just part of the
Just watching
part
from
of
the
crew.
side.
Yeah.
Right, exactly.
All right, Tonell?
I think I'd go Eagles in the 70s.
Oh.
Legendary parties. and everything they had going on in the 70s, especially being based in Southern California and living the Southern California 70s lifestyle. And then now, I think Sammy. We've seen Sammy close up backstage and stuff.
Yeah, that's true.
And it's very cool. He tours a lot with Michael Anthony, great guy.
Yeah.
And Sammy just seems to, not only is Sammy a great guy, but just seems to surround himself with just fun people.
Yeah, that's true.
And we've seen it very close up. I mean, well, these guys would be cool to hang out with. Plus, you have, what is it now? The new tequila, Santo Tequila?
Yeah.
Yes.
Plenty of that.
He has a whole bar cart that he
Beach
has.
Bar rum. Plenty of that. There's probably some Cabo Wabo tequila left over from the Cabo Wabo days.
For sure.
Right.
And then, of course, you're always going down to the Cabo Wabo.
Right.
So what the hell? I'm
Well,
picking
that's a good
Sammy.
choice right
So
there.
you want to be in Sammy's entourage then?
Yes.
Absolutely.
I get it. Yeah, that's okay. Do we really need to ask Huey? Do we?
Well, no, okay. I want to specify or clarify.
Okay.
You want to testify and clarify.
Absolutely. Well, no, because on the air I said Green Day, but if it was Green Day, it would be after 2004 when American Idiot broke. Not during the Dookie era. It's very.
Why would you not want to go during the Dookie era?
Because they were traveling in a bookmobile. So literally, it was a bookmobile that they converted into their touring van.
Yeah.
Super small. It was on display when they went to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Right.
Way too small to have
Any fun?
any fun, anything like that. I mean, I've seen a bookmobile. It's awesome, but yeah, it's way too small.
To live in it would be
exactly.
awful,
It'd
yeah.
be smelly and stinky.
Yeah.
So yeah, Green Day after American Idiot when they broke big again with that album and had all the big touring buses and vans.
Yeah.
And you've seen the parties because you've crashed them.
Absolutely. So I know how awesome it is.
Have you ever been on the Green Day buses before?
No, but I've been backstage
Okay.
and Mike Dern, I walked by and I was like saying bye to Mike Dern. And he's like, hey, I follow you on Instagram. I'm good. I'm keeping track of what I swear to God. I swear to God.
That's so cool.
But it was cool because they have
Did
different
he think
rooms.
you're someone else?
No, it said there was a Green Day family room, and I went in there, and it literally was just all them in there hanging out, and it was awesome. But if I had to pick someone non-Green Day, it would be Metallica in the 90s after the Black
there you
Album.
go.
Right?
yeah.
You think
Well, that's
about
a
it,
good choice.
after the Black Album, they dominated the world.
No, you're right.
So besides like Nirvana and other bands from the early 90s, they were the kings.
And they're good dudes. I mean,
Yes.
to talk to them backstage, they're real good guys.
But you think about
hang.
what albums sold back then, how many, and like how much the band made off those albums.
Oh.
Like they had like the top songs on the radio and MTV.
No expense spared for that
exactly.
tour.
So
Yeah.
they probably had everything at their hands
They
wherever
also
they
do
wanted.
yoga before they go on stage. I'm all about the yoga backstage.
But you think about all the metalheads and just the fun
I can see Baby
drinking
Huey doing
atmosphere.
downward
Oh,
dog.
yeah, you and Kurt.
Yes.
They also get massages. We know Jeff, the guy who takes care of them.
Oh, yeah.
Great dude. He does massages for them and stuff. They roll in style.
But they ruled the world in the 90s.
No,
Like,
you're right. That's a good
like
one.
how awesome
Especially
would
in
it
the
be?
metal era, yeah.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
just
big time.
how cool everything would be. Just be on MTV and just all the other top shows and traveling with them.
We all have to work on being the entourage.
Yeah.
I don't know if ours is very... Lamont, I don't think ours is very realistic with the Stones.
No, not with the Stones.
Like, you have a connection with Sammy. You certainly have a connection with Green Day. We're going to have to call up Mick and Keith and see what we can do.
Right.
Oh, boy.
All right, Joe?
Well, I'm going to first piggyback off of Baby Huey's answer. I would not mind rolling with Green Day in their...
In the bookmobile?
In the bookmobile.
Yeah.
Just to get a sense of like, kind of fly on the wall kind of mentality, like see like what they had to go through at the very beginnings of their career. But for my band that I would love to tour with, it would have to be Blink-182. Well, actually, I got two answers. Blink-182 back in late 90s, early 2000s, right around the Mark, Tom, and Travis show. The live album came out.
Yeah.
So it was, I think that might have been before Take Off Your Pants and Jacket. Or was it after?
No, it was
before. It was before. But that was like fun Blink-182 before, Tom DeLonge, like...
Before they stole our album cover?
Yeah, before that. No, before Tom DeLonge got really like, into all their different side projects. Tom DeLonge went off.
Boxcar Racer and all that. Yeah.
That, 44 Plus. Then, like I said, Tom DeLonge went into like old alien like stuff. And like he's literally like, he should be on Ancient Aliens right now.
Yeah. That makes it far more
But they
interesting.
dominated MTV, so
Yeah.
that's
Again,
another band
yeah.
that everyone knew. So I'm
Right.
sure their tour experience was
And
fun.
they were fun. They add a little comedy to their show, like they have poo-poo dick jokes and stuff like that. And I thought it'd be fun to be on a tour with them, like during that fun era. But honestly, what I would really love to do is had the opportunity, if I ever did, or if it ever does come back, which knock on wood, go on the Warped Tour.
Oh, the Warped Tour. It's not go on the Warped Tour, it's survive the Warped Tour.
You know who was on the Warped Tour?
Who's that?
Was Smelly worked on the
Really?
Warped Tour. Yeah.
Get out of here.
Yes,
I had no
absolutely.
idea.
Yeah, he followed that tour. He was on the
man,
tour.
we're going to have to bring him on to hear Warped Tour story.
That's where he got the silent tears.
That's where that
He
happened.
still hasn't recovered.
Oh, wow. Okay, we're definitely going to have to bring him on.
But with the Warped Tour, you have multiple different bands all just hanging out.
It's a
having fun.
circus.
Oh, it really is. And
Yeah.
just hearing, like, when we were interviewing some people from Warped Tour back in the day, they are saying, like, it's just all camaraderie, barbecues, partying.
Yeah, that's true.
It just sounds like a good fucking time.
Yeah, no, that's true. That would be that would be a good one. I hadn't thought about that. Even the festival circuit, I would love to just do. If I could get on Danny Wimper Presents all his festivals and just do all the backstage festivals for all of
We
that.
have friends who used to do the Mayhem Festival.
Yeah.
And remember, they had a party every night, like a theme.
I've changed my answer.
Okay, what's your answer now?
Jim Rose Traveling Circus.
That's a great idea. All right, so bands, if you're listening and you want us to hang out in your entourage, you can always email us at
thebonusbonepodcast@gmail.com.
And if you want to chime in, you can send us an email too. That was fun. I like that. I feel like I probably would have a very different answer in each decade that I've been alive.
Absolutely. Or each time
the
you talk
only one
about
who
it.
didn't change was Baby Huey.
Yeah, I know.
Well, honorable mention, Motley Crue in the 80s.
Oh, I do not want to
there
be.
you go.
No.
Or Def Leppard. Or Def Leppard. I mean,
Def
like.
Leppard maybe, but Motley Crue, I don't want any part of
Oh,
any
man,
of
that
that.
opening scene to
The
the Dirt movie
burritos
on
and that
Netflix.
scene
Hell
and
yeah.
no.
Sprinkler scene.
That's a hell no. If we ever ask the question, who would you not want to go on tour with? There's my answer. I'm not with the sprinkler. All right, we love you guys. Thank you so much for being here as always. We'll talk to you next week. Bye.